Our Cowboy questions as we get ready for San Francisco include Micah Parsons and DaRon Bland. Back is Tyler Guyton, part of the Cowboys' best offensive line, about to lean heavily into RB1 and more on the Cowboys DLLS podcast that starts meow. Hit the like and subscribe or else. And shout out to our people who were just hanging around waiting for the show to start, including the person who says, I put the first like. Love you. What's that username, Clarence?
If she hasn't put it on the screen.
Oh. Well, it doesn't make it any bigger. It's the one
Yeah, if it's down there, it's
he
bigger.
can't see that one. He couldn't see that.
I can.
He can't see that one.
I see Nesto.
No, not Nesto. Who put up the first
The
comment?
first one.
She puts it down there.
No, read it from there.
No, I wanted she put it.
Yeah, do it. Who put up the first comment?
He didn't bring his glasses today, y'all.
Ooh. Ew.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks for being here.
Ew. Captain Sex.
My name is Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
And be careful with following the masses, because sometimes the M is silent.
Asses. Next to Jesse is the greatest Cowboys beat writer of all time, and he has an I voted sticker on. It's Clarence Hill.
I did.
You want to win,
Put
put
chill
chill
in.
in.
Important. I took my daughter. It's the first time ever voting for a presidential election. It's a good moment this morning.
Who'd you guys vote for?
Don't do that.
Next to Clarence is the X's and O's queen, Aisha Morrison.
Yeah, they're doing that. Stop being down, Clarence.
Clarence's problem.
Clarence, you got a fellow Omega Man in the.
You got a what?
I missed it.
Because you were talking over it.
Well, I was,
It's okay.
put chill in. Road to the good bros.
Clam Pincher said, Jeff, I heard 20 minutes ago on the radio you thought Troy Aikman wasn't a good quarterback. That's blasphemy talk. No, I just troll. Sometimes I just troll a little bit. But yeah, Romo would have won 4 with that team. Let's get to the news before we get to our 10 questions for the Cowboys as we get ready for San Francisco. Our news of the day, Micah Parsons, DaRon Bland. Clarence, you tell me. If they don't play, I'd be like, what? So we're ready? We ready to rock?
Well, Mike McCarthy at his press conference at 9 a.m. this morning gave us some injury updates. Certainly, Micah Parsons,
Bro, come on, man.
Micah Parsons.
It doesn't want to stay up.
He doesn't even pull it up. He doesn't even try
Really?
to make it even.
What'd you just say?
Move the mic
What?
up to your mouth, bro.
I don't remember the phrasing, but I'm sure you took it in a weird way.
Move the mic up to my mouth. Sir,
Yeah.
no diddy.
No, don't say that.
Anyway, getting back to the Cowboys.
Yes.
Micah Parsons looked good. He spent the time here. You guys that say he's a podcast, went all over Europe and Asia and everywhere in the summertime and the off season when he should have been there. Well, during the bye week, he spent time at the facility rehabbing. He looks good.
Wait, you want us to wait?
No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to do
You
nothing.
want us to praise that?
I don't want
you
you
want
to
us.
do that. I don't
That's
want you.
that's like saying.
I
That's
don't
like
want you-
saying.
I don't want you to do that. I don't
You want us to give praise for doing what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Guys
You
leave
mean
town-
what?
Guys leave town during the bye week.
Yeah.
It's not when you're injured. You don't leave town.
Dak went and got
All right,
engaged.
time
He went to
out for
Mississippi
all the
State
football
game.
for all the football players that are sitting on this
Oh, my
panel.
God.
You don't get it. You don't get to leave when you're injured.
okay.
Sorry.
We
Just want to
know.
let y'all know. You
Oh,
don't. You don't.
we-
It's not
we-
like he.
Thanks, Jesse.
It's not. It's not.
Jesse,
all
I
right.
was being facetious. Okay?
Great job, Mike.
I was
I'm
being
proud of you.
facetious.
Okay.
I was being
thankful.
facetious, okay?
You
we
got it.
appreciate your
I'm
insight.
thankful
I
Big
was
for
being
your effort,
facetious,
Micah.
okay?
Thank you.
He wouldn't comment, or we're still non-committal on DaRon Bland and Eric Kendricks, where they're going to be ready this week. So that's still a question. To me, it's concerning because I thought Bland was going to be ready 2 weeks ago. Stephen Jones is going to play against the Lions, and now we still don't know. And it's been more than 8 weeks since the injury.
Yeah, and Jesse's got a game plan for San Francisco that I need DaRon Bland to be ready for.
Yeah, buddy.
I need DaRon Bland to be ready.
If I'm Mike Zim this week, I die before I let San Fran run 150 yards on me.
Right.
We're going single high safety, man on the outside. We're committing 7 to 8 guys to the line of scrimmage. You will not run. If Brock Purdy throws for 655 yards, you tip your cap to him and you go in and take your L. There's no
They
way.
got no receivers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why there's no way I'm going to allow you to dominate us up front this week.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing today was, outside the injuries, it was Mike basically talking about what they did during the bye week and the focus. And it seemed like he went out of his way trying to explain the inexplicable, the unexplainable, why they have been, why they're 3-3 and really look like they're 1-5 and 2-4. His opening answer was 1,155 words.
Oh, my man's locked in. He's ready this morning.
He just wanted to talk. I just want to explain why we look so bad and what we're going to do to change things. And the biggest thing they're going to do, is they're going to do less individual drills and more team drills.
Yes.
Okay.
Less individual. To me, it's like we got to do something. We got to throw something against the wall.
I think that the thing is that it doesn't matter what Mike McCarthy says when everybody is in a bad place and you haven't played well. No matter what he says, you're going to make fun of it.
Right.
But that's good. Like, one of the things I like about Mike McCarthy as a head coach, I don't know if I'm in love with him as an offensive scheme man, but one of the things that I do like is he seems to have the right ideas about what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, what's going to adjust what we're going to do. I like Mike McCarthy, the head coach. I think that the things that he does and the things that he pays attention to, for instance, today is going to be a half-ass practice because he has information that shows that coming off a bye week, if you jump right in and get after it, you have injuries on that Monday. So this is going to be a half-ass day as they roll back into it. Mike pays attention to the details that I think are important. And I think most people just look at him and they're like, oh, he's kind of a hefty man, so I'll make fun of him and say he's fat and stupid.
No,
I think Mike McCarthy pays attention to the right thing.
No,
especially the general health of the players. Like, he does a good job with that.
He's done a good job preparing his team and getting them ready, keeping them healthy. They were healthy as they could possibly be going to the playoffs last year. The problem is what they did in the playoffs.
Facts.
And so he does a good job managing their bodies and everything else. What he's going to do today, they're really not having a practice. Today is the famous across the hall where the defensive coaches are going to talk to the offensive guys and the offensive guys will talk, and vice versa. And he's also having a State of the Union. Let them know at 11 o'clock, State of the Union. We're going to tell you what for and what we're doing wrong. And
Who for what?
Yes, and he addressed the Aikman criticism. He didn't like the words Aikman used, but he allowed that they need to be more detailed in their route running, and every other group needs to be more detailed in how they take care of their business.
Yeah, Troy Aikman said that the Cowboys wide receivers are running terrible routes and it's all bad and that it's hard for the quarterback to trust them. And like Mike McCarthy, there's another no-win situation for you because like in the chat, Otis, Big Mike trying to tell 8 about routes is wild.
Right.
Like I don't know
You
how you work
battle
around that when somebody says, Troy Aikman said, if you're the Cowboys coach, like the only answer you can give that the fans are going to get mad about is, I love and respect Troy Aikman. He's a great guy. Next question.
Right.
Like you can't.
Well, I think any answer from Mike McCarthy that isn't.
Obviously, yes, we need to be better at a lot of things.
Well, I mean,
right, that's what he said.
It's an indictment on him, right? So if he goes, yeah, you know what, Troy's right. Then he goes, oh, then that's an indictment on you.
Yeah, what you coaching? You coaching
as the coach,
yeah,
right, and as the offensive coordinator. So the only answer that would absolve him from any indictment that he's not doing a good enough job as a coach is to say that I watch the film every day.
We're crushing.
I'm practicing it every day. I'm here with these guys every day. I know different, or I see different.
But the numbers suggest that Aikman's right. The performance says Aikman's right.
The film
says
says
the film right.
The film says
Aikman's right. So there's nothing you can do because as you coach it or you allow it.
Yeah. I wanted to comment on DaRon Bland and him kind of taking a little bit longer than I think people expected. Partially, we talked about the fact that where the bye fell, maybe that played into it. But also, too, a foot. He had surgery, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
A foot surgery? Feet are some of the most delicate things you can have surgery on. And also, too, with the way that he plays ball, even so, is how he drives on balls, how he jumps routes, how he takes those risks and those changes. those chances, he's gonna need to be able to have complete confidence. He's gonna be able to do that and drive. So I'm like, I'm kind of not shocked that it's taken a little bit longer, given like his style of play. Yeah, like he probably needs to be able to trust that thing.
Yeah, the problem here is that Stephen Jones 2 weeks ago said he was going to be able to play.
Facts.
And the problem here is, let me finish. And the problem here is that they brought him out to the meeting to talk about playing that week.
Yeah.
And then they watched him practice and they said he's not ready.
Yeah.
But why do all of that? Why, it's what thing Mike is frustrated about the things that are going on. Why tell the world that he's going to play if we don't know if he can practice?
Well, it goes back into what we've been talking about for the last week or so, is there being a disconnect between the football operations and then what goes on up there, because we just
Joneses shouldn't talk, but they do.
We just talked about Mike McCarthy protecting his players. He did this even with Michael Gallup, where Michael Gallup was like, I'm physically right, I'm mentally not right. He'll hold off on guys coming back. So it's like, it goes back into what we've been talking about for this last week, is that like sometimes there's miscommunication and people just doing what they want to do. And here we are 2 weeks later being like, well, why isn't he ready to play? Coach never said that.
Well, the problem here is this, and it's been a problem with Jerry and them talking. They repeat what they hear from the coaches. Okay, they're not.
Or the trainers.
Yeah,
or whoever.
Steven didn't just make it up. The
Right.
problem is you shouldn't be saying it.
And that's the part that's wild, because there's a staff meeting
Right.
just about every morning.
Right.
Like literally there's a staff meeting and there's either Steven and or Jerry
They're
or
there.
both. You have Jim Maurer that's in there. You literally have the heads of every single portion of the football team in this meeting to go over the day's doings.
Right.
All right. Here's this guy's healthy. This guy will be in. This guy will be out. Here's what we're going to do. So to have such a disconnect, and I'm not even calling it a disconnect, a disrespect. A disrespect.
I was trying to be nice
'Cause not a
about
disconnect.
it.
It's not a disconnect, because these guys sit in a meeting every single day. The Joneses, and that's why, like when Jerry says I'm involved from socks to jocks, there is a meeting that goes on every single morning.
Right. He's there.
And he's there. And if he's not there, Steven is there. So these things are talked about and discussed and situated and all this kind of stuff. And then it just goes, well, I'm just going to do what the hell I want to do. Mm-hmm. And he goes off this way and he goes off this way and then Mike goes off this way to run a football team, and everybody has their own agenda at the end of this meeting.
Barnacles.
Right. You shouldn't be.
No,
you shouldn't be talking out of school. I mean,
supposed to be
what
being positive
stays in family should stay in the family. And that's what Mike gets frustrated about, because they had hopes that he could play, but why go tell sponsors?
Because one group has to sell.
Yeah. Right.
Has to sell.
Right.
The other one has to try to deliver on the selling of what these guys did. So Mike's sole focus is, Mike doesn't worry about marketing.
Right.
Mike's not
And
worried about, ticket sales. Mike's not worried about attendance. Mike's not worried about any of that, right? So his whole thing is, well, I got to go this way, and I have to try to put together a team that's ready to go on Sunday. And then the Joneses go off that way, and they go, well, the team will be there. I have to figure out a way to sell seats and to sell views and to sell eyes and to sell advertising. And this is what we have to say to make sure that is in line with those things.
So saying Bland is closer does what you're saying.
Oh, I think it's one of the dumbest things about the Cowboys organization.
Make me
With all
mad.
due respect, keep in mind I'm saying this is all due respect. Is that like you're just playing a little game of telephone, right? Like Jerry does talk to everybody. So if Jim Maurer were to tell him, like for instance, or Steven, whatever, right? And Jim Maurer, it's like, hey, Bland, think he's going to go this week? And it's like, oh, we're in a good spot. I think that, there's a decent shot that he's going to go. They then take that and say it into a microphone, and they take it a step further because we're playing telephone. Right. And instead of we think he's got a good shot or we feel good about where he is, it comes out as, he's good to go. He's going to play. You just took it a little step further. And now you put the pressure on the player who looks bad when he doesn't play. And we're like, I thought he was ready.
Exactly.
And it's all because of the Jones family. Right. Who I'm not going to yell at anymore. Like, I'm done with that. I'm back to football.
Back to football,
I'm
baby.
back to football, baby.
It's all because of the Jones family. Why have the Cowboys not won since 1996? All because of the Jones family. Why didn't they do anything in the offseason?
All because of the Jones family.
Is that the new thing? That's the new saying?
All because of the Jones family.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Because of the Jones.
All because of the Jones.
DLLS on the back.
Not just Jerry. Not just Jerry. All because of the Jones family.
Keeping up with the Joneses is not a good thing.
They would send that cease and desist so fast.
Please, y'all.
That thing would
There's a
get
lot
there.
of people named
Oh,
Jones.
that thing
Like
would get here
Beyonce.
so fast.
You be like, what's the British guy that had to apologize to Beyonce and Jay-Z?
They would send
Y'all wanna
that.
know-
They would send that letter to Ben so fast.
No,
Y'all
it's
want to
not
know
about
something?
them.
Y'all want to know something?
That's just a generic.
She has a
name.
question. It's
No, I was going to say something.
Yeah, what's your question, Aisha?
I don't got a question. I was going to say, when I was a kid, I used to think that Keeping Up with the Joneses was talking about the Joneses.
Oh, wow.
I used to
Okay, so
think
you're
that.
all the way brainwashed Cowboys. Have been forever.
When I was a kid, like
He thought
kid.
they were just talking about the Cowboys, huh?
I eventually found out, no, that's not them. But
Poor
at first,
baby.
I just,
All right, we've
what?
got.
Hey, listen, age is wasted on the youth.
Why would
From
you?
out, that's a good saying. It is very true. It'd be really cool if we
I
had
ain't
our
telling
healthy
y'all
bodies
nothing
once
no more. Every time I tell y'all something, y'all do me like that.
No, it's not about you. It's in general. I would love to have my 20-year-old body back now that I have a real adult brain. That'd be cool.
Exactly.
That'd be badass.
Man.
So we are back to football. And this is from the All DLLS website. That's our website.
Yes.
Where Joe Hoyt and Clarence Hill have an
Tell them
article
something, Joe.
that released this morning.
What up, Pop Up?
10 questions for the Cowboys as we get ready to play real football again, including the first one that I want to go over. I put over here. Who is the Cowboys' best five on the offensive line, and does it include your rookie first rounder or not? That's next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast.
Over 300,000 five-star reviews.
Mm.
If you're like me, who sometimes lose things, even break things, look, see, you already lost them. Then you need to be a part of the Shady Rays family. Because if you get a pair of glasses from Shady Rays, lose them, don't worry about it. Break them, do not worry about it. Because they will replace them free of charge. But here's what you got to do to get you a pair. I want you to get a pair, but I want you to get a pair for the right price. 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses from ShadyRays.com. All you got to do, go to ShadyRays.com, go through their plethora of glasses, use our promo code DLLS. That gets you 35% off a pair of 35% off a pair of polarized glasses. Got mine right here. Don't leave home without them. Head over to ShadyRays.com, use our promo code DLLS, and look as cool as me.
And you can be as cool as me if you download the Sleeper app. I might use it too much, but up to $100 first deposit match when you use the promo code DLLS Boys. And what you do on Sleeper is, like last night, I took Aaron Rodgers to throw more than 1.5 touchdowns, and he did after everything was really bad. And I said Breece Hall would have more than, I don't remember the exact total yards, it was 90-something, comfortably went over it. The more different picks that you make, the more money you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. That's
Just
with
as
our
long
friends.
as you don't put Texas in there.
Don't put Texas. Actually, I had, no, not Texas, but I did have the 17-year-old Bama wide receiver was on sale. So I had him to go more than 40-some-odd receiving yards. He had like 73.
Ryan Williams?
Got that one too. Yeah, got that too. So hit up our friends at Sleeper. Use the promo code DLLS Boys for a $100 match on your first deposit.
Unnecessary.
That was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary.
That was so unnecessary.
Well, so was throwing stuff on the field. You guys are children.
Yeah. And it
Hey,
cost,
Cost you $250,000.
What is the motto in SEC? It means more. It means more. We're just embracing SEC attitudes. It means more.
Okay.
And we got the call overturned. Don't forget that part. Don't forget that
They did
part.
throw enough on the field that the refs then talked about it out of fear for their lives.
Yeah,
It
that's
changed
what it
the
was.
law.
Don't
we're
forget
not going to
that.
make it out of here.
Don't forget that, baby.
We do have on our website, alldlls.com. By the way, please hit the like button. 72.
Yes.
We're 28 short of where we need to be at this point in the broadcast, or we all get fired. So if you're here, please hit
It's
the
not
like button.
true.
Make sure that you're subscribed.
It's not true.
Well, it might be true if we don't get this likes up.
That's fair.
Yeah, if we don't get the likes up, we all get canned.
Yeah.
Like before we leave today.
Yeah.
Unlike Mike McCarthy.
It's a high pressure situation. Mike McCarthy will not get canned during the season. Most likely, maybe not. We'll find out in the next segment. But the first thing we want to talk about is the Cowboys offensive line, because I was farting around on the internet last week.
Silent or deadly?
I was donging around on the internet last week.
Oh.
And
No Diddy.
I saw like the news. I saw the news that Tyler Guyton's back, left tackle. Cowboys offensive line is back the way it was. Congrats, Tyler Guyton's back. Jerry Jones said it. But I only saw it on DallasCowboys.com. And I'm like, all right, so somebody said something to someone over there or at a sponsor meeting. And so I brought that up. I was like, oh, look at that. He's back. They're going to sell it as he wasn't healthy, and now he is. So, of course, he's back. He's playing left tackle. But I've heard from some other people that not so fast, my friend. And so I just didn't know. I just didn't know if anybody had heard anything. Are we back that our rookie first rounder is in there? Is that our best offensive line? I want to talk about the Cowboys offensive line.
Well,
27 years on the beat.
With the Cowboys, that's a good question, and both answers could be true.
Oh,
he could be back just because they're stubborn and he's the first round pick, and they don't want to admit failure.
Right.
Okay. And they're just gonna, do what they have to do. The second answer was, is he part of the best five? And that's a completely different conversation.
Okay.
And I think both conversations have been had during the bye week. Both conversations were clearly had during the Detroit game. I mean, that's why he was essentially a healthy scratch. I mean, you don't make he's not on the injury report all week.
He's suited up.
He suited up and did not play. That was the choice. Now, were the results what we thought they should be? It could be that they get the results they want to know because they got blown out. And so there's a process of, well, if we're going to get blown out, might as well get the experience for a young guy. Or, as I heard that, hey, if we leave Tyler Smith at left tackle, he's going to be dominant there in a couple more games. He just needs to get his feet wet and get his feet down.
Which isn't something that anybody would say if you knew that Tyler Guyton was like going back and he's our guy.
I need to put you under a light in a chair and interrogate you, because I want to know how positive you feel about what was told to you. Because I feel like you're not obviously you can't spill the beans, but I can tell that you feel a way about what you're told.
Tell us
so
about
a
a source
know.
that you're not supposed to tell us about.
I'm just telling you
Off the record.
Sources tell me
that
Jerry could say what he wants, and there are other people who are saying things that would at least lead to you thinking they're not totally sold that Tyler Guyton's going to be the left tackle, or that if he goes back out there that it's like he's definitely going to stay out there. There are people who I believe that your best offensive line doesn't include him.
Right.
And what's interesting is that I think we touched on this when we talked about him, specifically earlier in the season, is that like how bad is too bad, and then you're building bad habits. Because too, like, I know we talked about, are you confident in taking him out? Like, is that going to kill his confidence if you take him out? Okay, if you keep him in, but he's getting his hands killed like every game, do you take him out? Like, it seems like in any part of the situation, somebody's losing. If you know what I'm saying? Like, the kid is losing, the team is struggling with the draft stock and all that stuff. It's like, it doesn't, and then you lose, to your point, your best left guard has to move to left tackle. It just doesn't feel like, no matter what we answer, it's a good thing in the long run. Now, how good is it for you to just get wins at this point in time? And I guess that's the question. The secondary question is like, okay, well, yeah, if Tyler Smith is better at left tackle right now and you need to win games, maybe that is what you do.
Yeah, that's the primary question. That's not a secondary question. It's about winning.
I thought it was the Well,
no,
I thought
what I'm saying,
the way he posed it was the secondary question. Why are you screaming at me?
I'm not screaming at you. I'm not screaming at her.
It was the second question that I asked, which
Right.
could make it secondary, but
But
Clarence
no,
is saying it's the more important
Well, yeah,
question.
I'm saying is from a Cowboy standpoint, not the secondary was we're using the wrong lingo, and I wasn't screaming at you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I just talk louder. But
Shouting you down. is
I was
what
not shouting her down. I was
Damn
just saying that it's not necessarily about the secondary question, because the primary issue is the urgency of the moment. Okay, what's best for the team to win now? That's all I'm saying. And that's why it's not secondary. It may be the second question he posed, but it's not secondary, because as we look at all these things, that's why they played the lineup that did against Detroit. What helps us win now? That's why he was a healthy scratch against Detroit. And if we move forward, if that's the same process, it's going to be what helps us win now. The situation is dire. It's urgent. The season is on the line right now. We don't care about future development. We don't care about confidence. We care about what's going to help us win now.
Jesse, do you think that's what's best for him right now as a player? Like, do you think that that's like,
No,
if he can rebound from something like this?
When I look at we talk about the best 5, what's best for the team, what's best for Tyler Guyton. It's if he dies, he dies. Like
Tater tots.
Like
Exactly.
I agree.
like
Exactly.
No, I go full Drago.
You
Like
gotta go team.
if he dies, he dies. Like
I wasn't
but
expecting
because
that.
my thing is that
That's my team.
you actually to me, you make your team your offensive line worse by removing Tyler Smith from where he's in first team All-Pro to put him in outside. I think now you have 2 average players playing positions, right? And I think if you put Tyler Smith back at left guard and let Tyler Guyton play left tackle, and then you just give help, right? There's always a tight end over there. You roll away from him. You try to do things to mitigate him, ruining all your chances of doing anything good, because it is what it is. Like, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And like I said before, just because you give him more reps doesn't mean he's going to get better. But at this point in time, if he dies, he dies.
The funny thing about it is that,
and I mean that metaphorically. If you guys have never seen Rocky, I'm not talking about him literally dying.
Yeah.
Drago, like,
but the thing about it is that I
we're trying to kill him.
That was a fair disclaimer.
Just like you talked about the best 5, and I think they looked at all those scenarios. I think they looked at the scenario you're talking about. Well, you're moving your best guard to left tackle. He's not going to be as good, and I think they looked at all of that, and they still made the decision.
That's how bad the left
That's
tackle.
what I'm saying.
Now,
that's how bad Tyler Guyton has been.
They're fishing. I think that they were hoping for Tyler Smith to go out there and be dominant, and that way they can go, whew, okay, now we can. But that didn't work. I think they're throwing up a bunch of things against the wall, and ain't none of them sticking right now. It didn't
work in that game, but as I was told, they feel that
more reps
than Tyler Smith.
We've been there.
But now
we've been down that route already.
No, you're talking about Tyler. You're talking about Tyler Guyton.
I'm talking about
Tyler Smith.
I'm talking about anybody. We keep having this thought process.
No.
If we keep giving more reps, that they'll get better, and that's not fundamentally true.
Okay, but I don't agree with that, Jesse.
They believe
just
that
because
Tyler
you
Smith
have
has that type of talent.
You have tangible film from Tyler Smith that shows that when he is playing there comfortably, that he's fine. So I mean, I will say
he's fine.
He's okay.
He's fine. He's not. I'll say he's good. He's good at left tackle.
Like, what's the bar? Like
the bar's being
well, first
better
of all,
than
it's
what
hard
they were.
to play.
Like what's the bar? Like, what is the bar? Is it good?
I don't think that
the bar's
okay?
The bar's getting your best
sure
5 out there.
I'm talking about left tackle, because we're saying I want to just know, because I don't want us to all say the same thing, because your fine and my good may mean the same thing.
Facts.
Right? Like, so I just want to make sure, because I don't want to fight your good, and your good means the same thing as my fine or average or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think when you look at them comparatively, like, you don't get with Tyler Smith. We've seen him develop into a better, pass pro person, but he makes his money in the run game. You're going to get money. You should get more from him in the run game immediately than what you got from Tyler Guyton, who came in is not doing that well at all. But when you talk about whether he's good or not, I think if we go back and look at these games, some of these calls, some of these situations are drive killers, where maybe you wouldn't have those situations. Maybe you score on those drives. And also, too, you can run the ball the way that you've kind of been trying to do a little bit better.
Do you, though? Because the guy that you took Tyler Smith away from, the position you took Tyler Smith away from, you now have to put a guy in there who's less than
you do
at guard. And that's what I'm saying. When you look at these game scenarios and how the Cowboys have been playing, they don't have a good running game. And it's not because of Tyler Smith.
Yeah,
right? Like, I don't give a damn where you put him at.
Yeah.
These games, you're finding yourself right now, and this is why we are where we are, because you can't find a system that's actually working for them. But these games have come to a point where the Cowboys, more often than not, have been put in a position where they have to pass the football. They're not put in a situation where they're able to run the football with regularity and with great success in that. So now they're passing the football. You take Tyler Smith, and what is he good at? Run blocking. Well, we ain't running the football.
Yeah.
We're now more in pass pro.
That's fair.
And that puts him, again, back in a position that he's not really good at.
So
I disagree that Tyler Smith is not good at pass blocking. He may have.
He's great at it at guard.
Well, I don't think he's bad at left tackle. He wasn't. I think that they believe, now this is them, he can be a Pro Bowl, all-pro left guard. They believe he can be a suitable left tackle in play. Is suitable better than Tyler Smith? Yes.
Yeah, but
Other
then you
than
went from
Tyler
all-pro
Guyton.
to bad at guard.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
The
Tyler
problem
Guyton-
is there's not a good answer.
Right, it's not a
Oh,
good
well,
answer. But
that's
my
the
point
problem.
is they've looked at all these scenarios. They wouldn't have done it. I mean,
Well,
they played all the scenarios that you're talking about. These
We-
just in their mind, and they still did it on Detroit, and it's still something they're considering. We'll see Sunday.
We also can't look at it in a vacuum, though, because I think we do kind of look at it in a vacuum. How many teams, offensive linemen, how many teams have a good offensive line? Like the
Very
Lions.
few, but
The
very few.
Lions.
But that's
The line. There's
what
maybe
does
like
that have
2
to
or
do
3.
with what should the Cowboys do with what they
No,
got?
I get that, but what I'm saying is like I think that we're talking about trying to get the best scenario. The best scenario might be just that's it, and that's
Listen.
kind of what football is when you don't have good starters or you have people. It's
and
going
this-
to be some compensation.
We belabor the line here too much anyway. Because I remember when the Cowboys had a first-round talent at right guard, right tackle, they had a Zach Martin left tackle, they had Travis Frederick at center, they had
Ron Leary.
He's
before that, but they had
he's a
Tyler
player,
Smith.
That was when we were
They
good.
got Tyler Smith at left tackle, and we kicked Connor Williams' butt.
Yeah.
We belabor everything. I mean, you got four
Well, yeah,
first
you
round
have-
I'd love
talent.
to have
You
Connor
got
Williams,
four
yeah.
first round talent. Oh, the reason we can't run is because Connor Williams.
I'll
What
take
about
Connor
all these
Williams.
other guys? I mean, we
And-
belabor every little move anyway.
And so we say all of this, and it all takes us back to the same problem.
Oh,
Because
No.
many people in this league don't have
No.
4 all-pro offensive
No.
linemen.
exactly.
It goes back to,
Coaching.
boom.
Tyler Guyton should play every
Oh.
single snap.
That was good.
I'm just going to get that out there. Tyler Guyton should play every single snap
If he dies, he dies.
because
Taylor-
the alternative is not a better offensive line, and it's not giving you any chance at getting something better later. What matters is how do they block in 3 months. And I'm not saying he will get better. I'm saying
3 months?
you need to, yeah, what matters is where you are in 2.5 months, 2 3/4 months. What matters is where you are after 17 games of play and how are you playing now and did you make the playoffs?
Right.
TJ Bass playing football does not give you a better chance than Tyler Guyton to make the playoffs. I don't know who gives you a better chance.
Mhm.
So I'll leave my all-pro where he is. I will let my first rounder show me, can you play or not? So that this offseason, I don't have to mozzie this thing up and pretend that you're going to be a baller just because you were a first-round pick. I want 17 games of knowing, did he get better? Do we think he's going to get better? Or do we need to do something about it? Let him play because the alternative isn't any good either. So figure it out.
I honestly agree,
Quick
Jeff.
in the super chats.
That's
Formula 444488888.
Formula's my guy. He's a
Okay,
beast.
cool beans. Clarence, why does it sound like you smoked 2 packs of Marlboro Reds for 40 years?
Damn.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the
First
super
of
chat.
all,
Wait a second. Then the next one, don't feel so bad. Next one, give you a little shout out right here. We got right here. Post
'em.
trip.
Just hook him. And it's a 20
$20 bucks.
20 spot.
20. You add that to the money that you guys now owe the SEC for throwing stuff on the field.
You're going to-
And y'all
the
cut-
money
y'all
I
cut-
lost in the bet.
Or the
Wish
money
I
you
could-
lost in the bet.
Wow.
First of all, my
It's
voice
illegal.
has
You
always
should only
been
be
kind
on
of
sleep.
scratchy. It had nothing to do. I don't smoke cigarettes. Never smoke
He
cigarettes.
smokes cigars.
Newport 100.
Drink scotch. Coming up next, Jerry says no in-season coaching changes, but Jerry's also heated. Does that change if San Francisco gives them the business? Next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast.
If you live anywhere else besides Texas, the fall is upon you. It's still summer here.
Let's cool down.
It's 85 today.
cool
That's
down.
that's
This is a hot one.
but it's still outdoor weather. You can still go outside. You can still do things outside. You just
Bought a
bought a
kayak.
kayak. Don't know if you're going to use it,
I'm going to take drinks on that kayak.
but while he's kayaking, guess what's going down the river with him? His rugged road cooler.
The
It floats.
cooler.
Can that thing float,
It
baby?
floats. I might just tie it to the kayak. You don't have to be in with me.
RuggedRoseOutdoors.com can get you suited and booted with the best cooler around. Keeps things colder, keeps things fresher. It floats. It's durable. It's sexy.
It is hot.
All those pretty things. DLLS is the code. 10% off is what you get. Rugged Rose Outdoor is where you go.
They look
and
badass.
you can use it for tailgating. You can use it for just round the back of the yard type stuff. You can do it for camping. You can do it for hunting. And you can even do it for kayaking like Jeff. Go out there with Jeff and kayak with your Rugged Road cooler. Rugged Road Outdoors. Our promo code DLLS. 10% off. RuggedRoadOutdoors.com. Go now. Hut.
Also, hit up our friends at Empire today. If you have anything that you need to get done flooring-wise.
You want that wood?
You want that wood?
Wow.
Maybe you bought a home
Wow.
and it hadn't been updated and they got the carpet in there and you want to go laminate. You want to go wood. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do, our friends at Empire Today are here to take care of you. And if you go to empiretoday.com/DLLS, $350 off. Empire Today. Shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. That's what they have. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Their virtual floor designer is a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Snap a picture, instantly see how new floors will look in your home. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can get a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details.
I think I'm going to use Empire.
I would have nailed it, but it's going to sound weird on TV coming back when he's doing a segue out of a spot, still talking about the spot, even though we're just coming back on TV. But we're not on TV yet. So what were you saying?
Me?
I want to know.
I was still talking?
Well, you were carrying through from my Empire, and then you were going to say something that related to Empire coming back. When on TV, they would be seeing a different commercial, and they would come out, and they would return to our show with you being like, oh, an Empire, and that would be confusing.
You were very excited when you said you want that what?
Stop it.
If you want wood.
If
you want wood on the floor.
That's the floors I want.
You were very excited saying
I'm
that.
super excited.
Okay. I just
Super duper excited.
I'm about to do it yourself stuff. I was looking up
Don't do it.
different colors to paint inside the house, and then I realized that you can paint a patio. And so my back patio looks just kind of generically concrete and not good. And so I'm going to figure out, I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint my patio.
I just want to say, I know that I live in a world that's full of anxiety for myself because when y'all talking about the Rugged Road coolers, in my mind, y'all be talking about picnics and
you can take tailgating for sure.
and like all this stuff.
For sure.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, dang, winter's coming up. Probably gonna need a cooler because our power grid hates us here.
Oh,
again.
wow.
Oh.
That's what my mind
you
thought.
made it political.
I think about surviving.
Oh, you made it political.
She was talking
I
about,
think about the survival side.
you were talking about Abbott.
Rugged Road's a good cooler for if you're into the world person and you have a bunker. Get you a Rugged Road cooler.
You
too.
should get
7
one of
days.
those.
7 days.
Apparently, you
And
can
then
survive a hurricane with one too.
He
Yep.
did. The
Yep.
guy floated on that
Maybe.
thing.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
We don't know.
Allegedly.
We don't know.
We know.
But no,
Allegedly.
for safety's sake, get a Rugged Road cooler too.
Get
10%
4
off.
of them. Tie it to each post of your bed, just in case anything happens in the house. Your house could flood at any minute.
You
start
can
floating
float
off.
You want
on
big
it.
kids.
You have 4 coolers to float.
Allegedly, you could float on it yourself.
It's definitely not used as a flotation device. At
If they
least.
had
I don't
Rugged
think we
Road
could
in
save,
Titanic,
but it does float.
still be here.
All right.
Maybe.
I didn't mean for that to go
Shout out
that
to
way.
Carrie in the Super Chat. Freak
Those
Jesus. The only way to
sharks.
fix this is fire both mics, bring in the whites. Easy now.
Whoa.
Randy and Danny.
Oh, okay.
2 Super Bowl champs. Is Danny
Is
white?
there a
He
con-
wanted the punter. He wanted a punter.
Okay.
Don't do Danny.
He got
Don't
a
do
ring?
Danny. Don't
He
do
got a ring?
Danny.
Okay, he got a
I think he
ring?
was on that team as a punter.
We gotta start using. You gotta start using like
The whites?
punctuation and stuff. No,
No, it's the last names. Yeah.
did he put a comma?
I
the
said,
whites.
I said
Because
Randy
the
White.
way you said it,
The whites.
see,
I said
suggested there
Randy
was a
White
comma.
last week when they said, which
whites.
Cowboy player you want to come back?
Yeah.
I said the master. Come wreck shop in the middle of that defensive line.
I said Chad Hutchinson so that we could go 3-14 and get a
Trent
good pick.
Williams
Wow.
will put hands on right now. I'm playing.
Oh, boy, I tell you what.
Trent Williams will
Randy
put
White
hands-
would get dirted in today's
Man, y'all
NFL.
better leave Randy. Y'all better leave the master alone. Y'all better respect the master.
We just have to make sure that we're clear that he, in this scenario, is obviously born way later, comes up with different training regimens, and he's
Yes,
a different person.
yes, he
because
would be.
actual
if he
Randy
was
White
born-
that is on tape would get dirty in today's
leave my
NFL.
boy Randy
Trent
alone.
Williams will baptize
Okay,
him.
what about Too Tall?
Too Tall wouldn't get a single pressure
Nice.
against Tyler Smith.
Block.
They would chop
Every
him so
pass
quick.
down.
They would chop him
Dunk
so quick.
Man, y'all better stop hating on the old
They
guys.
would chop him so quick.
Y'all better stop it.
man.
Our
What about-
guys got modern
What
medicine
about
and
what
training.
about Mr. Cowboy?
Who?
Bob Lilly.
The way the
Bob Lilly
What?
would get destroyed
Man, y'all better stop
by
it.
Andre Gerard.
I'm not gonna
Man,
even. I ain't
yeah,
even gonna hold
leave
y'all.
Mr. Cowboy alone.
Y'all speaking above my age range. I don't know nothing about what
He's
y'all talking
historic.
about
I need you
right
to do
now.
it. I'm gonna send
Cooper
you the history of
Beebe
the Cowboy book. Give me the
would
history of the Cowboy
eat-
book.
Whatever.
Lies.
Ed Too Tall would get eaten
Stop
by
it.
Cooper Beebe.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna get Hollywood on you.
It's 49ers week. Let's bring back Jesse. You ready to go get this dub?
Let's go.
Oh, Jesse Holly.
I got 3 catches for 96 yards in me, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Jesse Holly went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Brad needs a cigarette right now.
I don't have to go that far with Aubrey.
He needs a cigarette.
Aubrey gets you at least. What?
I don't have to go that
need
far with
No, I
Aubrey.
think Aubrey. I go
What we
50.
Jesse
got?
would catch that ball and immediately hit the deck, and they'd be like, "What were you doing?" Be like, "He's within 60.
He's 60, baby.
He's ready."
Well, I'm not gonna
It's
pull a
on the
hamstring.
road, outdoors, the
What we
swirling
got?
winds in the Bay Area.
I can get you to the one. I can't guarantee you anything else.
And you're going to praise the Lord.
Hey, I'm gonna do that always.
Alex said we don't need Drew Henson. We have Trey Lance. That's true. We could just put Trey Lance in. Let's see if we can win one of the next two. If they lose the next two, I support a fake Dak injury. I support the fake Dak injury.
I don't even want you speaking that to existence.
No.
And
Nope.
well, we're gonna beat the 49ers. I don't know if you guys have watched them play lately. The Cowboys are gonna smoke the 49ers.
Oh,
But
I know what that is. You haven't saw the Cowboys play lately. That's why you believe that.
Yeah, I'm a week removed from seeing them. I just watched San Francisco. I just watched Brock Purdy without weapons.
We're good.
I saw what that looks
And,
like.
and if they don't beat the 49ers, then we go back to what this segment was supposed to be about.
The Cowboys are probably gonna lose by 30.
Oh, we got right here.
What? We get
John
paid?
Santos. All I want for Christmas is a new GM.
I got bad news about Christmas, brother.
20 spot on the super chat.
I got bad news about Christmas.
I
What
love
you want
these,
for Thanksgiving?
I love these content creators who created this so far. Jerry, petition and everything
Taking
else.
shots at J Tuck right now.
Listen, he thinks it's all him.
Oh,
Seriously.
We've
Don't
been
do
doing
that.
this
Don't
since
do that, Clarence.
1996.
He thinks, see, Jerry's melting down because of what we're doing. No, he's not.
No.
He's melting down because they're losing.
don't
Yeah,
do that, Clan.
Don't do what?
Don't do that.
He's not ever firing himself as GM. It's wasted energy. It's a nice thought, but he's never firing himself as GM.
People deserve an outlet. However they decide to do it. That's
Huh?
however they decide to do it.
He's
Yeah,
not doing
He'll
that.
never admit he was wrong. Yeah.
And, and the thing he wants to do more than anything, because like I've been covering, he wants to prove to everyone he can do it without Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's his
And
sole
he's still not
focus and
tired of
goal.
trying that. And
Yes.
And Jimmy Johnson looks more responsible for those Super Bowls literally every day.
He wants to prove that I can do it my way.
Jerry says no in-season coaching changes, or at least says we don't need to talk about that or worry about that at the moment. But Jerry is also real pissed. So if the 49ers run the Cowboys, are we going to be revisiting that?
If the 49ers and Falcons,
If they both run?
Eagles,
Oh. How many
I
are
think
gonna go?
I think it's one more game. I'm sorry. I don't think, and it depends on if they were to lose, how they lose.
yeah, the boat racing.
But
you know
if
what boat
it's-
racing is though?
Yeah, I do now.
It means when the other boat gets out in front, the wake that they're pushing back makes it impossible to catch up.
Yes.
Because they have smooth water that they're rowing through. They're ahead of you. They're creating a wake that you got to cut through. You're
I
done.
Googled it. I Reddited it.
You don't want to get boat. You don't want to get boat raced.
Don't get boat racing. Or mollywops.
So it depends on how it happens, but I think they are close to there being like some serious things going on in there.
Nothing is more damaging to your job as when people start overemphasizing that your job is safe. Nothing
That
is
means
more,
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Nothing is like, I'd rather you just say, I need to see more from him. Then you keep telling people, his, we're not talking about that. He's our coach. He's our guy moving forward. I'm not thinking about a coaching change. Like nothing is more damaging and should concern you more than when an owner, GM, or president is overly praising your job security. That is literally the writing on the wall that, cuzzy, you're getting ready to move.
I don't trust Jerry. I don't trust Jerry anyway.
Well, he's 82. I mean,
I mean, I don't trust.
Stuff's
To
not
your
firing
point, I think you
fast.
make a really good point, Jesse. But I'm just saying, like, regardless of what Jerry says, I have my mind
Telling me
goes
no.
to the stars.
but my
I don't.
body.
I guess that's probably not appropriate.
We should be singing his songs.
Well, I mean,
You gonna do a Diddy song?
I need y'all to stop.
Take that.
The bottom line is Jerry, just because he said it don't make it so. Okay, that's another Jerry
I wouldn't
quote.
trust it.
And for him to say there's no in-season coaching change, he also has been known to kowtow to media pressure. He ain't gonna do it at GM,
Yeah.
but he did it with Wade. He did it, with coaching decisions. He will kowtow to media pressure, media criticism, and embarrassment. He melted down and wanted to fire radio goes last week because he was embarrassed and humiliated. Let him go get embarrassed and humiliated against a 49ers team that's injury prone.
That's
injury
depleted.
laden.
I got two things.
What you got?
Yeah.
One, hit the like button if you're watching right now. It's good for our algorithm. And leave in the comments what's your favorite ice cream. Because comments are good for the algorithm. What's your favorite shoe? What size shoe do you wear?
No.
How high do you go with your socks? Ankle socks, no show? tall. Here's the other thing. If the Cowboys did, let's say they lose by 30, 40, 50.
Oh, my God.
And then let's say he doesn't get fired. They lose to Atlanta's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lose to Atlanta by 26, right? I still don't think McCarthy gets fired because the ineptitude of the GM and how this thing is built top down, there is literally no one to put in that job.
Well, that's the other
There's
thing.
no one here to give that job to. And so if you were to fire Mike McCarthy, I think you lose the rest of the games by 100. I don't think it gets you going in any way, shape, or form.
Would it not be, by default, the assistant head coach right now?
Who is that?
Al Harris.
Oh.
So you're going to take the guy who is under the defensive coordinator, put him above the defensive coordinator.
Is he? Is he under him as the assistant head coach?
Well,
Yeah,
he's a
pretty much.
position coach.
Yes, he's
also
Zimmer's
the-
running the defense.
He's the secondary coach.
I'm only saying that because isn't that what I don't know if they did it exactly, but I will say that we've seen in the NFL more players, former players, taking on coaching situations, and it seems like teams are rallying around some of those coaches, those head coaches.
Which one?
I mean,
Which one other than
because Mayo and Pierce are getting smoked.
I mean, we talked about we got
Antonio Pierce
Atlanta.
to your credit, when Antonio Pierce took over, they did
But
play better.
also
When
too,
he
we
first
look at
took over.
Raheem
They look
Mostert and what
awful
he's
now.
doing in
Well,
Atlanta.
Raheem
Who?
Mostert.
That's not his name.
Morris.
What is that his name?
He's not-
Mostert
he's
is
not
the
back
backup
on
what
running
he's
back.
doing,
He's not a
yeah.
former- he wasn't a real former player though like that.
Fine, whatever. Potato to like.
I know. I mean,
I'm
I
just
think
saying,
that's probably
like-
my favorite name too. But
Oh, you probably mean D'Amico Ryans?
I also mean D'Amico Ryans,
yeah,
but I'm
D'Amico?
talking about
D'Amico's a
Atlanta.
good
Even
one.
Atlanta, like, isn't he he's a former coach?
Yeah, as far as coach.
He's always been a coach.
Yes.
Whatever.
He was not an NFL player.
Okay, but anyway, I think that we're starting to see. You're correct. If you're correcting me, that's fine. I can take correction. I feel like we've started to see that there are more coaches, former players going into coaching situations, and teams are seeing some success with that. I'm not saying that Al Harris has experienced any of that. I'm just saying I'm asking. It wouldn't be him.
Well, the problem is this: that Mike rewarded Al because that's Mike's guy,
right.
and he wasn't gonna give him defense coordinator job. He rewarded Al for not going somewhere. That's different than Jerry rewarding Al.
That's what you think. That's what happened.
That's what happened. Mike rewarded Al and gave him a title. He still has no more responsibility
Because there's
Zimmer's
zero
running
chance.
the defense.
Like, to your point, like
Yeah.
that's the only name that would make me be like, oh, that might help in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's
there's
what
no
I
way
was
it would be
saying.
him.
No.
Like, it would be Mike Zimmer or Brian
No,
Schottenheimer.
or the special teams coach.
Don't.
Mahomes.
No, everybody
Fake
loves
punts every
Mahomes. The
down,
best-
baby. Let's go.
You know, but
There's
but
nowhere
yeah,
to go.
but Mike rewarded Al. That's more of a it's a title,
Tracking.
but he doesn't have any more responsibility.
Okay, well, never mind. I was trying to put some positivity in there. Like,
No,
let's-
and I agree
let's
with
look
you. Like,
to
if
Al
you're looking
Harris.
for a
Oh, we
guy that
love
it seems
Al.
like people like his leadership and the players seem to really like him and go for him. Although
Yeah.
right now I don't really say I can think
Right,
they
yeah,
can say the
'cause
players are going for anybody. Daniel Escobar's in the super chat with a 20 spot.
Ooh, I got them 20. I must have got paid.
Oh, what a rush! Road Warrior Cowboys win. Road Warriors were.
Do you? I know. Do you know? Do you know who? Is that it? Do you know who Road Warriors?
I think I've heard it. Is it a wrestling guy?
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
hard time
Tandem.
differentiating
Tag team.
I've
between
heard.
the
I
Road
think I've
Warriors
heard
and
it.
the Legion of Doom.
That's the same people.
They're the same guys?
Yeah.
It's both Hawk and Animal?
Yes.
That would explain why I
Yeah,
have a hard
yeah,
time
that's-
differentiating. Because I'm like, didn't they both have the spiky shoulder pads?
Yeah,
and the
it's
face paint?
the same.
I've
Okay,
heard the
yeah.
same.
Yeah. Shout out to Hawk and Animal if they're still alive.
One of them is not.
Oh, shout out to whichever one's still alive. Maybe he could win the
Laurinaitis
singles
is no longer alive.
title. Laurinaitis. He
His
was the
dad.
dad of an NFL player, right?
Yes. Yes.
Ohio State kid?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Like wrestling guys, Jeff and Jesse.
Who was supposed to be a 5-star can't miss guy and wasn't.
Oh, you just want to tear somebody down for no reason at the end of a segment?
No, just stating facts.
He's probably on. He's
James
probably,
Laurinaitis
he's
was
probably
supposed to been a bad boy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby.
Coming up next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast, the starting quarterback, Dak, he's never quarterbacked a losing season. Is that about to happen? And Micah Parsons, can he still have a double-digit sack season? Can he still be a Pro Bowler? All of these things are next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast. But first, shout out to the people I've seen on social media that are tagging us. Your diehard packages are coming in.
Yes, they're so cool.
Getting to see people with the merch. Ah, it looks good. I've seen the card. It's in a little box. Oh, the packaging is so good. Sign up to be a diehard at alldlls.com because you want to be, because you love your local teams, and because our little home here gives you shows for all of those teams, behind-the-scenes content for our diehards, the premium written content, exclusive content, if you will. Jesse has heart hands. You don't have to be a diehard for that. But we do love if you sign up to be a diehard. We have a members-only Discord server where we hang out. We talk about feet and whatever else you're into.
Huh?
We're in that. What? We can talk about whatever is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Feet are important.
Yeah, and feet are important. How you get from point A to point B if you don't have a vehicle. Your feet or your kayak. We can talk about kayaking. We can talk about impulse purchases. We can talk
Yes.
talk about whatever you want.
Yes, we have the two impulse buyers on this show right
You
here.
just sign up to be a diehard, pop up into our members-only Discord server and tell me all about your impulse purchases that you make at 11:45 p.m. after you searched out your old high school football coach to fire him an email once you found him.
What?
I was journaling last night. These are things we can talk about in the Discord server. I was journaling, and it asked to think of a time when you felt very loved and appreciated.
Oh.
And Coach Washington from Allen popped in my mind, so I got on the internet to see if I could find him, because I wanted to reach out to him. Turns out he's at Bentonville in Arkansas.
Okay.
Big school. He's
Okay.
out there crushing it, coaching the receivers.
Take a kayak out there and go pay him a visit.
I'm the kayak out there. I sent him an email just letting him know, hey, I appreciate you.
Okay.
You're awesome.
I love male interpersonal
11:45 p.m.
relationships.
And then I went to bed.
So
All right,
sweet.
sign up.
Yes.
The end.
So
I tried to
cute.
find my basketball coach, Coach
Yeah.
Koki.
Yeah.
Moved to Florida. Nobody knows No one knows.
Have you tried social media?
He's 92. He's probably like Jerry age.
Well, no, I mean, like,
Jared's 82.
I mean, have you tried? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you
Not
tried
92.
Googling. You tried Googling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had to do a lot of Googles, and it doesn't look like Coach Washington's on any social media, but I did track him down on their team website as the wide receiver
Coach Koki, if you're watching this, my number's still the same, bro. Call me.
Yeah. How about that?
Well, my
Still
baseball
have the
coach
same
follows
number
me
from high
on
school.
Twitter and Facebook.
You play baseball?
Coach Webb, huh?
What position you play?
I played everything, huh?
What position you play?
Left field.
Oh.
Damn. Better
Batted
than right
third.
field. Better than
Huh?
right field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batting third. Come on. Clarence. Clarence, do you think Dak's about to have his first losing season? I'm just trying to move on.
I think it's a question. I mean, I think this.
We got to bring some clippings in because I'm hearing a lot about what you used to do in high school, and you got to bring in. You either got to bring
I was
in.
out with a small little newspaper. We'll work on that.
You got to bring some clippings in. You need to bring one of them spindle things in. What's those?
Anyway,
I bet I can find some newspaper clippings about the
Yeah.
man working.
Anyway,
what is that called? Kit Kat. What is the big reel of film called?
8mm. I got
You
8
need-
millimeter.
yeah,
I got
I
8
need that.
millimeter. It's called 8mm. I got 8mm somewhere.
We need to get that. We need to get
But-
that transformed
but
from
check,
one space to the
we're
next.
talking about Dak right now.
All right. Yeah. We gotta.
Of my kids, I want you to print my Facebook picture because you bought a new printer.
Impulse buy.
Impulse purchase.
In the chat, tell us the last thing that you impulse bought.
Impulse bought.
Oh, yes. Mine's a kayak.
But
Jeff bought a kayak.
One reason why the Cowboys have been bullish on Dak is because as long as Dak's been healthy and has been quarterback and had a healthy season, they've been contenders. You know, he's won 3 NFC East titles, been to playoffs 5 times, but they've contended as long as he's been healthy. When he has not been healthy, you know, obviously in 2020, they didn't. You know, they were 8-8 in 2019, but they were contenders. 2017, they were 9-7. They didn't make the playoffs because Zeke missed 6 games. But he's not had a losing season as quarterback, and they're 3-3 right now. And you look at the schedule. We talked about the tough slate coming up. The Cowboys are going to be hard pressed not to go 8-9.
It's a great question because I asked for Cowboy questions this morning, and former Kansas City Chief man Sean Smith asked me the one that I thought was the hardest to answer. He's like,
What up, Sean?
He's like, Cowboys make the playoffs? And I was like, oh, like how many does it take? Does it take
Yeah.
9 enough? Because I think the 2 most likely win numbers for the Cowboys are 9 and 8. I think they're either going 9 and 8 or 8 and 9 if I had to guess
I
today.
think it's going to take 10, no?
It's gonna have to take 10.
And see, the question, you would think it'd have to take 10, but the saving grace for the Cowboys is the muck. I mean, outside of Green Bay
and Detroit
and
are good.
Detroit and Minnesota,
Right.
the West is awful.
The entire
AFC
North has a winning record right now.
right, but NFC South, there wasn't what, you
But
know,
you're still gonna get one from there.
right.
You may get two.
How many wild card teams?
You're going to get 3 from the North.
Yeah, you're going to get 3 from the
Lions,
North.
Vikings, Packers, and the Bears are 4-2 right now. But you're going to get 3 from the North. You'll have the NFC South champion. You'll have the NFC West champion. You'll have the NFC East champion, which I don't think will be the Cowboys. So you got 1 spot left.
The other wild card, you might get 2 from the East.
That's what I'm saying is that the 49ers are bad. The West is awful too. I mean, there's a lot of teams that got Cowboys got problems, and we're so singly focused on the Cowboys' problem, but there are a lot of teams that got problems, and that's part of their saving grace. And Dak's saving grace is whether he gonna end up with a winning record or losing record.
I will say Dak is not going to have a losing season.
So you got to go 9-8.
I reserve the right to change that opinion after 2 more football games.
That's fair.
If they lose them both, I think he's absolutely going to have a losing season. If you go 1-1, yeah, I think they'll their way down to 9-8.
And it blows the conspiracy of, they play well on the road, just playing bad at home. No, they haven't played really well on the home. They just played bad teams on the road. They haven't played well on the road. They played bad teams on the road.
Last year was the most bizarre thing ever. Where it was like the Cowboys are super awesome and they can't lose at home. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense because our home field advantage is Bud.
Right.
It's just like it's not a real thing.
The teams
they just happen to have played well.
Right.
Not win on
and the same thing is going on right now. It's not like they've been lights out on the road. They played some bad teams, some flawed teams. And, the funny thing, we say that in San Francisco's a flawed team. But beat San Francisco because they've owned you.
And I do think what you just said.
They could go 6-11.
Is a factor in the mind.
It's possible.
Right.
Like, football is a physical game. 100%. It is played on the field. It's played in between the lines. 53 in the third. I get all that. But there is a mental aspect to this thing. And there are times when you have teams that just have your number. And we can watch the Niners and all that they are and how good or bad that they are and the players and so forth. But there is in the back of the mind of the coaches, of the players, that is the biggest hurdle that they have to get over.
That's their boogeyman.
That is their boogeyman. Mm-hmm. And that plays a factor into it. Like even preparing and thinking about them, that sometimes gets you to a place of nervousness or anxiety or whatever it is. And they have your number. You have not figured out a way, and you haven't figured out a way to beat them, and their coach has dominated your coach in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And that part has not changed.
If you can't beat the 49ers now, when are you going to beat them?
This is your best chance to beat them.
It is.
Although I think they'll have Debo, right?
Yeah, they won't have McCaffrey.
They just won't have Ayuk or McCaffrey.
Yeah, you won't have Ayuk.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
That's big. That's
but
a lot.
The thing that we keep talking about that is lacking in our area of coaching and schematics and scheming up to your best ability is the one thing that they do really well on that side. Is that Kyle gets those. He says, whatever you give me, I'm going to make the best of it. And the one thing that we have not been able to do with and without Micah and Tank and others is pressure the quarterback. Like that is something that we have not been able to do.
Might not call a pass play till you make them.
If I got it over my dead body. Are you running the football? If I am Mike Zim,
you can put 7 in the box and they still run it down your throat.
Then that's
the thing.
Then we need to chalk this season up.
Because the Chiefs shut down their running game.
Well, the Chiefs actually have a good defense.
The Chiefs, Pat Mahomes hasn't had a good year, and they're undefeated.
Right.
Chris Jones and those.
Pat has 6 touchdowns and 8 picks, and they're undefeated.
That defense is holding them up.
And that's the thing about the Cowboys is that even the 49ers, they struggle. They still have some things they can hang their hat on. What can the Cowboys hang their hat on?
Nothing.
And last year, it was Micah Parsons against the quarterback, or forcing the blitz, or we complained about, they're holding it. We got 3 people on it.
It was the pass rush in general.
But you can hang your hat on that. You can hang your hat on the turnover.
Or Dak and CeeDee is something normal you can hang your hat on.
But there's nothing we've seen that you say, this is what they do well. This is what you can count on. Game in and game out. There's nothing.
No. And that's why it feels so weird to be at 3-3 when you're bad at everything.
Or not great at everything, yes.
Well, there's nothing you could say this team's good at.
Yeah.
Like their passing offense is not good. Their passing defense is not good. Their rushing offense, their rushing defense. They're good at kicking.
Special teams in general has been, I think, even in the return game and stuff has been better.
Bones Fossil, kicking.
Mm-hmm.
There's our new head coach, Bones. Micah Parsons going to make the Pro Bowl?
No.
He has 1 sack.
No.
How many
Will he
games
get
has he been?
double-digit sacks? He's had at least 13 sacks every year.
Oh, I think there's no way he gets double-digit sacks.
No. That's going to be
What if he
tough.
goes on the road and get 2 a game from here on out?
Well, then that math would dictate that he gets double-digit sacks, Clarence.
Well, he needs to go on the road. I mean, we've seen T.J. Watt have big games. He formerly have had 2 and 3 sack games. It's time for him to unleash and go on the road. You need your best players to show up and show out.
6. Oh, he's only missed 2 games?
Yeah. He had
Feels
1
like
and 4.
longer.
He had 1 and 4.
Coming back, and now there's 6 in. He's coming back for game 7, so you get 10.
He had 11
more.
games.
He'll get double.
I think he can get double digits.
I think at some point when the season is lost, if they let him keep playing, boy, he will go stat hunting and he'll get double-digit sacks.
The problem is you can't go standing and everybody run the ball down
That's
your
what I'm
throat.
saying, like,
If they're
that's
just running the ball.
But
They're
even
not
on those
passing
plays,
it.
you don't worry about that crap.
Like,
I'm not
it's-
getting tired wrestling with you. I'm
to
just
me,
going to
it
keep
has,
running around.
it has nothing to do with Micah himself.
It's his
It has
ability, right.
everything to do with
What's everything
teams.
around him.
Teams are just going to keep running the ball on you.
Right.
Like, not saying that they won't pass and you can't get it there, but
Yeah.
you're not. Teams aren't throwing the ball 35, 40 times
yeah.
a game anymore.
Well,
on
the
you.
Cowboys have a lead.
Right, you have to have a lead.
The Panthers.
The offense
Micah
has-
will not get double-digit sacks. No, he won't.
Oh my God.
He'll finish with 7.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Maybe
DeMarcus
8.
DeMarcus
Or 8.
Lawrence stats.
I'll go 8.
Something
He's
like
going to be
that.
the DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, DeMarcus is now down to like 3.5, 4.
This is such a weird place to be in. I'm
And that's
trying
okay.
to-
I think you just have to, as a fan, just recognize, stop trying to talk about your team. Like us as media, when we're doing our show, the way we're going to do a show isn't how are the Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl. It's what are you keeping up with? What is a worthwhile storyline? What matters to this team moving forward? Blah, 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 blah. And if they make the playoffs, that'll be neat. You just had to change your perspective a little bit. It's no biggie. All right. You guys happy?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
guys happy?
We're good.
Have a great day, people. Get a kayak. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.